Hello, my name is Kristen. I live in a van with my cats, and I sell and share happy thoughts, and this is the Happy Thoughts Podcast. We're on Happy Thoughts Podcast, episode 57. Today, I have Christina Cicci.
Cicci in Italian.
I was saying Cicci in my head, and I was like, that feels wrong to say, so Cicci. And Christina is here at Omega.
I am.
And she told me that she wanted to be on the podcast one day. So here we are.
Yeah. Well, hello, everyone. And I'm glad to be here. Happy to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Yay.
After we had a discussion about it. But we always have these really great discussions. We meet each other just randomly on campus all the time.
I feel like we're just walking through the woods all the time. Like, hey, Christina.
I know. So we always end up having these conversations that either need to be cut short or, you know, we're each running different directions. And,
right. Yeah. I feel like I could talk to you all day.
Yeah.
So many times.
I feel
and here we are. Don't worry, guys. We won't be here all day. We're going to keep it short. But it's going to be great.
Yeah.
So tell us about you, Christina.
Well, I call myself kind of a jack of all trades kind of a person. I'm very curious and I love to experience different things. So, I've lived 1,000 lives, I think, in this lifetime. And Omega is just another one of those lives and I completely transform. And I dive into things and completely transform, but I still have the wisdom from everything else that I've learned along the way and different interests. I kind of had this theme of no stone unturned in this life. And so I keep going, and Omega has just been a really interesting turning point for me. In that I was in the corporate world and I had my own business. I owned a restaurant in the Charlotte, North Carolina area where I lived for 25 years. Yeah. Ran my family's businesses, which were NASCAR teams in Charlotte area. So I've done a whole lot of different things. Coming here to Omega, for me, I got to a point where it's about service. And it's not about the money. Where everything before had the money attached to it. And not that that's a bad thing. It just, we do need it. There are definite times when you have to pay your bill some way, somehow.
Yes.
But it's just Omega has changed my viewpoint and my experience of money. So, and I'm sure you probably have a similar experience.
Yeah, I think it's just so interesting. People here, which if this is the first episode you're listening to, Omega Institute is this Center for Holistic Studies in Rhinebeck, New York, and just brings in a lot of different people who are teaching about healing and finding your own space in the world and writing and that kind of stuff. And we are doing seasonal work. And I think with so many of us being here, you kind of have to change your relationship with money.
We're not getting paid a lot.
Right. We're not making a lot, but then also like our basic needs are met.
They're all met. That's right. We don't need anything.
Right.
Really.
So I'm not getting paid a lot, but also when I was living paycheck to paycheck, making a lot more money and living in a different way, that was actually more stressful than life here.
Absolutely.
So I think that it's the psychology of money is so interesting.
Yeah.
Here, and then everyone here is transitioning somewhere.
Yeah.
and
it's
maybe
temporary. You're only here for 6 months. So.
And even people who have come many, many years, you have to go through the transition twice a year.
Yep.
You know, you have to leave and you have to come back.
Yep.
And
it's different.
It's a really interesting. Humans are changing so much every year, and then land is changing, and then the economy is changing, and there's so many pieces of the puzzle that are changing all the time, and then systems are changing. Corporate is changing. Like you could come for one season and have gotten everything you needed out of it. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna pull a habit thought.
Let's pull.
Okay, ready? Dreams are necessary to life. Anais Nin.
I don't recognize Anais Nin.
Have you heard of the quote, "We don't see things as they are, we see them as we are"?
Ah, yeah.
They said that quote too.
Okay.
Right. I don't know everything about this person. I find that it's sometimes better for the simplicity of words to just be what they are, and then when I get too into the good and the bad of the people, then it just kind of taints it all, because there's good and bad of everything. But
Absolutely.
but I love this.
And there's different.
Right. Yeah, and I think, I don't know, I feel like I've been talking about this on every episode lately, but just like, we can hold two truths at one time. And I think that's just something that I have been seeing a lot lately, of like, where I can see that almost as a solution for a lot of things. Of the tension. It's like, that's true, and this is true. And if we could figure out how to let that be okay, because it simply has to be. There's billions of us on this planet, and there's billions of truths. Like, not one of us has the exact same makeup, you know?
Right.
And I like dreams are necessary to life. Like, your dreams are different than mine. Even if we're dreaming the same thing, we're dreaming it differently. And I think one of the things about the amazing part of this campus, especially for the seasonal staff, and likely that you get when you have your basic needs met, dreaming is easier.
Absolutely.
Like, you get to like daydream. It's like, I'm walking through the garden, and all I'm worried about is, what is this bee up to?
Yeah.
I'd like, what flower are you liking? You know?
Yeah.
And then just being and not in the stress of, I got to get to this thing because I got to make this money, and I have to do this thing, and I have to talk to that person. And
and it doesn't work. It's slow, and it makes things really hard.
Right.
And I look at this every day in my own life, and that when I try to make things happen, because I'm really good at doing that, and controlling, and thinking six steps ahead.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if I'm going for that dream, then these are the steps that I need to take. And I've lived my life that way for a long time, and it worked. So when it started not to work, when it started to become too much and too stressful, then when I started to change and understand how my life really works on a divine level and on a human level, it's working with the two.
Right.
And being able to sit back and allow things to unfold. And that doesn't mean to sit back, watch TV all day, and just wait for things to happen and, to land in your lap. Right? There is a peace that you get to access when you're out of that survival mode.
Right.
That brings you and allows you to move in a state of being that is aligned with what your dream is. So,
and I like that dreams are necessary to life. Like, life is just the baseline, right? Like, it's just existing. And I think about this a lot in terms of the van, but not me in the van, but just in terms of homelessness.
Yeah.
And when we are talking about like giving people money, or like, you just got to get a job, or helping people get a job, or whatever. It's not the job that they need. They need a place to be and breathe and dream. So they can think about what they want to wear to that interview. They can think about, I showered, and I didn't have to think about all the steps that it took me to shower.
Yeah.
Like, the number of steps that I am not in that position, but I felt it, where it's like waking up in the morning and trying to get my stuff together and get myself to a gym to take a shower, and then what clothes is clean can I find, and I have a place to have my clothes too, like there's the simplicity that we look at things in terms of those solutions, and it's like, it's basic needs. We need basic needs met, and here is a place that we are getting our basic needs met, and we can dream about something, and who knows what happens from there. But people are dreaming big here, because you can.
You can.
and everybody can dream.
Everybody can. That's the key, is to really, and it's beginning, what I feel is it's that beginning to notice where your energy is going, right? Are you just trying to take the steps to make things happen during the
Right.
day? Or do you allow yourself the space to dream a little bit? And what is
Right.
a dream? What is a dream? So what is a dream to you?
I think it's a really broad word, and I don't think that it means that you're sitting and daydreaming, or that you're
Right.
but you could be drawing, you could be journaling, you could be talking to somebody, like you could just be throwing out ideas to somebody, you could be listening to somebody else, what somebody else was doing, you could be watching a documentary. There are so many different ways, whatever way it is that you access information, what kind of excites you. It makes you excited, just makes you want to do something. I think I feel like that's the part in my head that I'm like, oh, this is something. There's another happy thought that says, if the vision was impossible, you never would have received it. And I think the vision is a dream. And it's like, and those are the moments when it's like, if there's a thought coming to your head in that excited way, that's probably yours. Like, that's probably something to consider is possible.
Yeah. And I think, and you kind of nailed it there. You went into
yours,
where dreams, for me, are kind of the spark.
Yeah.
Right? The spark before the smoke, the spark before the flame.
Yeah.
And so if we have the dream, and then we have, it moves into this vision. You could call it a vision, but to me, there's more imagination. And we're taught at such a early age that imagination isn't real. But it is. That is the foundation, even before the dream.
Right. Yeah.
So
just being able to play.
Right.
Like, I mean, I talk about that a lot too, where it's like just letting yourself not have a rule on what it's supposed to look like. Like, do you want to just throw leaves around? Do you want to draw with chalk? Do you want to play with Play-Doh? Like, what is it that is just play for you?
Yeah.
Like,
and
do you want to
magic? There's a magic about it.
Right.
That has, and we're taught again at a very young age not to be magical.
Or it's like a separate idea. It's like you can play and then do work, but they're not the same. And it's like they are the same.
They are the same.
And they need each other. And I think dreaming is almost like putting those together. It's like, what could I do, and like, how could I make it happen?
Right. Right.
But then
we kind of move into, well, what's a daydream, and what's actually moving us to, because we can get stuck in a daydream and just sit in daydream. Yeah. So what actually moves us to create something from this? And for me, what I've learned is taking that vision and putting yourself into it. Rather than watching it on a screen, watching yourself, as most daydreams, that's what kind of happens. Yeah. You're kind of separate from yourself in those visions, and really feeling the feelings. And sometimes you can, that's where I kind of think the difference between a dream, a daydream, and a like imagination and a way to manifest and create in your life is that placing yourself in it, going to the end of that vision, what was the result, and feeling from it, then you're embodying it. So that is what puts you in the state of creating and moving forward.
And I think there's a lot of, I was very dramatic in changing my life because I had a really hard time accessing that when I didn't have time and space to access it. Not everybody has that availability, and I think
we do.
We do. I know. I think there are,
but we feel that we don't have the control over our mind, and we really do.
Right. Yeah, and I think we can feel more limited when we have less. I don't know. How do I say what I'm trying to say?
Like basic needs.
Right. Like, but like, I was going to try to say that, but like when I had an apartment and a job and paychecks and benefits, one might say my basic needs were met even more so than now, like now.
Well, from the physical world, right? Materialistic things. But there was something that was missing.
Right.
From the core of your being. that wasn't being fed.
Yeah. And I think what I love about like this quote or like just dreaming is that if you're scrolling on your phone during the day, you have time to dream.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So if we're choosing to dissociate from our life, that is something to observe and not judge. just something to be like, hey,
just a notice.
I do have time. I don't really know what to do with that time. And so I'm choosing to like self-soothe with scrolling.
And it's an addiction too.
Yeah.
I mean, there is an addictive quality to it. They've proven that over and over again.
Right. And so there's plenty you can say on like, why is this all happening? But I think, I love really so many of the habit thoughts are really just me trying to like when everything's going not well, like what can you do? Like what's still at the bottom? Like what is at rock bottom? Like dreams are there, like they're something that you can find wherever you are. And I think, just
so the key for that when you're in a space of rock bottom, and I've been there,
right? Yeah,
a few times.
Yeah, I think a lot of us have on this campus.
And when you're in that space. Or even when I'm in that space, it's remembering to stop and be still. Just stop and be still, whatever that means to you, as far as maybe that's taking a walk. Maybe that's just getting outside and taking some breaths. Maybe it's not scrolling, because scrolling you're
not stopping.
You're numbing. You're not actually stopping. Even though you're walking, you've got the sensory things happening.
Well, and walking,
the smelling, the seeing, the hearing, the out in nature, and the feeling of your feet grounded. So all of those things also help you be still in the mind.
I think we are so geared towards work hard and be productive and do all these things. And then when that for so many of us, stopping is really hard. Like that's a really hard thing to think of. And yet it's somehow minimized. Like it's lazy or it's this trite thing. And it's like, how is a trite thing this challenging for so many people? Trite means offhanded, it's like no big deal. There's a lot of work that goes into pausing. And I think,
and it's very uncomfortable.
And it's so quiet. And so you don't get to have a gold star. You don't get to show that you stopped something today. But then within that stopping, that's where the dreams, they're just waiting. Once you stop, then you're going to hear something. Like our brains are always creating.
There's no stopping it. There's no stopping it. And I love that necessary to life. Because that means in this existence, life. Not something out there, not something in Lumeria, as people are talking about, or out in the cosmos somewhere. It's right here on this earth in this time, and we get to have the adventure of a lifetime. My teacher, he always says, we are God having the adventure of a lifetime.
This little human existence.
Let's do it.
Let's
do it. Let's live it. And it comes from that dreams and imagination. And, I lean towards imagination more than dreams. But,
And I think they're very similar. If not, they're not the same, but I think it gets, if we can get in that direction, I think we're on the right path.
Exactly.
I think,
yes.
Just accessing.
And it is just going in that direction. It's not about meeting anything. I've lived that way for a long time. It's like, oh gosh, I'm gonna try this modality because maybe that's gonna take me closer to where I need to go, or it will take me where I need. I'll be there. And you never hit the top.
And you're not supposed to, and then you feel like you failed in some way. And I think the whole failing thing is crazy too, because it's like we're just supposed to be muddling through this whole thing. Like we're never getting Like, I don't know what the end goal is apart from finding, like, to me, it's like, I just feel like we're just all looking for peace. Like, we're all just looking, and we are looking to coexist, yet we don't know how to exist within ourselves necessarily. So how are we going to coexist if we don't, like, even know who this person is?
Yeah. Oh,
and
for
that's,
sure. Yeah.
I mean, and that's like terribly hard work too, you know. It's
it
really
is.
easy to look outside of like, oh, how can these people be better? And it's like, how can we?
Oh, coming from I'm a fixer.
Yeah, I know.
So this year has really, and I've done so much work and so many years of it. And even I moved into that, seeing things in other people and wanting to fix. I was an energy healer, and I was a, cacao ceremony facilitator, and I was I had all these modalities under my belt to help fix people. But I wasn't thinking that at the time. It wasn't like there's something that needs to be healed there, and I have the tool to do that. It wasn't that. It was like I really wanted to serve, but as I got into it, I started seeing how people were relying on what I was doing for them. Yeah. And I was like, whoa. We have all of this inside of us. We are all of this.
Right. And
you have it too. And I get to show you how you can do this too, rather than me doing it for you.
Right. And like, I mean, everybody wants the pill. Like, everybody wants the quick fix, Which, I mean, all of these thoughts are like, you've got it. And I was trying to tell myself that. And so then this whole thing growing from the concept of you've got it makes me want to share it, because it's like, guys, we've got it. Like, it's literally, I want to like shout to everybody. It's not that complicated. It's like, not that complicated. And the thing that you want to do is terribly challenging and also entirely for you and exactly possible. Like, all three of those things are true. And I struggle with that line sometimes, though, because even handing the happy thought, and if it's the right happy thought that somebody got, somehow I got in the mix of it. And when I'm at markets, I hold a basket out and then they pick it. And there's an autonomy of that I really like. Because I don't want to get in the middle of it, because like, I'm not doing anything. Like, and I'm not saying that people think that I'm like doing amazing things, but there's a line I'm always dancing with. Yeah. Of what's mine with this and what's not, and what am I trying to help. I just want people to feel what I'm feeling, which is a sense of autonomy and shock that, oh my gosh, dreaming actually does work. And I feel like it's turned into an experiment that I want to share, because it's like, guys, something's happening. And I have to talk about it because nobody knows what they are. And so I have to talk about them. But it's the same concept of, I don't want to be in that position. But then you're always fighting it, because there's a good feeling with it sometimes, but that's not fulfilling. And I know that turns into a codependent thing too, of like, I need you to need me. And then you think you need me, and I'm like saving you, and I'm not saving you.
Yes. Yeah. There's
interesting.
As you were talking about the happy thoughts, and it's almost like, rather than being a solution, you're opening the door. It's just opening the door so that they get to choose to step in how they want to and experience it how they want to.
Yes.
So instead of doing anything for them, that's what you're doing. Is just opening up. And how can you dance together with this?
Right. And when somebody comes up to me and says, can I get a happy thought? I'm so happy, because that's what I would rather have happen, instead of me being like, would you guys like a happy thought? Like, if you want one, asking for what you want on whatever level that is, the universe hears that. Like, it hears when you say, I wanted that chocolate chip cookie and not the other one that I got. When you say what you want, and even if it's just like, I want a happy thought today. If you did want it and you asked for it, that is just a different energy that you're putting out in the world. You accepting one or saying no or whatever, they're just all different energies. None of them are wrong.
Right. And actually you can create that.
Right.
So you get to do that and create what you want out of this.
Right.
So,
I know. And that's overwhelming. We can do anything. So before we started the podcast, we were starting to talk about you said you're working on a micro workshop?
Micro course. Yeah.
Micro course.
Yeah.
What is that going to look like? Do you want to talk about this on here or no?
Sure. Yeah. So
I kind of feel like it's going to tie in. I don't know why. I just assume.
Yeah. So part of it does tie into, getting in your head and stopping yourself and being a perfectionist. It has to be this way. So I'm a painter and been trying to really move into a full-time artist role and been working on it. It's a practice, So finding my voice in painting. So as part of the process, I created a workshop that I actually did, not a workshop, a class that I actually did here.
Okay.
So when I'm feeling stuck or I'm attached to the result of a painting, or anything in life, I'm able to just look at a canvas, a blank canvas, and just make marks and strokes and use different techniques to make a mess. Can you swear on this?
Sure can. Yeah.
And fuck it up.
Yeah.
Because that's when we're not willing to make mistakes, that's when we get stuck in all of this stuff.
Yes.
And it doesn't allow us to move forward. And using that creative, that divine energy that allows us to see the dream, to envision and imagine the dream.
Because there's so many dreams that we can't even see right now.
That's right. That's right. So I did it here last year, and it was really well received, and so we just had fun, and it's breaking away. You're not painting anything. That's we're so conditioned to, I'm going to paint a house. I'm going to paint that bird. I'm going to paint this. No, we're going into this. It's a blank canvas. And some people don't even bring themselves to the blank canvas because it's too overwhelming to see a blank canvas. I don't even know where to start.
Right.
So I use different techniques. Let's how do I pick the colors? How do I start?
Yeah.
Different ways of putting marks on the page.
Yeah.
So, and it's a lot of fun, and it's just letting yourself just fuck up.
Yes.
Create, and I heard this on one of these entrepreneurial podcasts. I listened to these, these young, tech companies. They build this tech company and then they sell it for like billions of dollars, and then they're on to the next thing, or they fail and they're on to the next thing.
Right.
And so one of them was on there, and they were talking about what they do when they feel stuck. And he's like, we just make a shitty painting. And I was like, that's brilliant.
Yes. No, I love that. I was listening to Liz Gilbert talk on some podcasts before I came here. It was partly why I came here. But she was talking about what she does when she's, I don't know if she's calling it writer's block, but when she's stuck on a creative pursuit. And she was saying that Albert Einstein used to talk about, he'd call it combinatory play, and he would just go do something that was completely separate from what he was working on, but he would just play, and there were no rules on it. It was just like learning a new thing that he wanted to do, and how that opens up your brain. And I think I've been focusing so much on play, just in growing this, just on accident. Another quote or whatever I had found before I came here was from John Cleese, and he's talking about play, and he's like, if you have any rule on what you're doing, you're not playing. Like, so it's like you're either playing or you're not. So if you want to be playing, like, which what you're trying to invoke is,
I think
like,
there has to be some guardrails. There has to be some parameters to play within, because then the brain just doesn't know where to land. It just doesn't, or we get too far out there. Like, especially for someone who's not used to painting, or someone who is a perfectionist who needs,
and like
A plus B plus C, and so even bringing this micro course to corporations when engineers get stuck on something, and engineers have a tendency to get in their heads a lot.
Yes.
So they're in their heads most of the time.
Yes. Because they need to, so we need them to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's moving down into the body.
Right.
And into the heart to access that creative energy and into the gut.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Coming soon.
Yes. No, that's so, I love that the things you focus on, you find, So like I've been talking about play, and I've been thinking about play, and I'm working on something too, but like it's one aspect of it. And I just think it's so fun to hear other people, doing like,
and it's like, how can we, so if there are rules, how can we look at that rule and do something different? Right? Something that we've always been taught. Oh, you've got to color within the lines. Well, what if I don't?
Right. Like, and what if I intentionally don't?
Yeah.
Like, what if I'm like, well, fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't even need that line.
Exactly.
Can't even see it anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or you create a beautiful portrait and then you put a big black mark through it, I mean, it's
and like, I think we like can minimize that as well. It's like, oh, I don't have time for that, whatever. But like everyone listening, whoever you are, you have a feeling when you think of intentionally coloring outside of a line.
Yeah.
Like there's either freedom in that, or there's like, this is reckless, or whatever.
Absolutely.
But like to feel that allows you to not be afraid of that feeling.
Absolutely.
When it's in a different context.
Yes.
And that's so important.
That's so key.
Yeah. It's like planting a seed of a feeling. And you can go find that again for sure.
Right.
If you know what it is.
Right.
I mean, you're finding it again anyways, but you're probably missing it because like when we're ignoring what's happening.
Right.
Or when we're so focused on what we think the rules are.
We're so afraid to even go there. And it was so unnatural. I have been exploring these emotions only for the last year, or feelings. It's not just emotions, it's feelings.
Yeah.
So I've suffered with anxiety for most of my life.
Yeah.
Because and anxiety is just not allowing yourself to feel feelings. So it goes into anxiety. So, and emotion. So it's kind of like, okay, what emotion am I not willing to allow myself to feel? And that could be even joy. That could
joy is the most, Brene Brown says that joy is the most terrifying emotion that humans can feel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, you are right.
Yes. So, in going down that exploration, the last few years, and I've had some, I won't get into a lot of detail, but I was on birth control for 25 years on a particular birth control that kept your moods very, very stable. Progesterone, basically, right? And this could get into a whole nother topic.
I know, we can talk all day again, and we won't keep you guys.
But it's, after I went off of that, I started feeling emotion again. So I went 20-something years with being very, I had ups and downs.
When you were anxious during this 20 years? Like, are you saying
not as,
okay.
I had dips,
okay,
for sure, where I went into that space of anxiety, and your body kind of gets addicted to it. So any little thing will trigger that.
Right.
And so when I went off of it and started going on more balanced hormones, I started feeling all these emotions started coming back full steam that I did not know what to do with.
Yeah.
I didn't remember what they were. And, the crying, I was just like, what the heck?
Am I losing my mind?
Yes. And feeling it so much in my body. And as I was kind of going through just learning about this, understanding that this is all normal. It just feels so strong because I hadn't felt that in so long.
Right.
I didn't know what to do with it. So as I'm kind of going through this, I started shoving it down again because that's comfortable.
Okay, yeah.
And I didn't know how. And anxiety kind of went away. It kind of manifested in other things where I got really busy, just busy, doing other things, so I didn't have to feel.
Right.
And
yeah, which, I mean, you're in good company there. I mean, like, a lot of people are doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the last year or so, I really started to just stopping, being still, recognizing and learning what these feelings and emotions are, and allowing to feel it. And I'll tell you, when that happens, whoop, in seconds it moves through. And you come out on the other side in such a bigger vision, a bigger perspective, a higher perspective.
Yeah.
And it's just a fascinating thing.
When I think to experience that, like, gives you more courage or gives you more bravery to feel. Because I just, on my last episode, like, we were talking about, like, there's a sadness that can feel like it's going to kill you.
Yes,
like there, and there's anxiety that feel like panic attacks feel like a heart attack. Like, it's real.
It's real.
Like how big they can feel.
Absolutely.
And we're not like doing any diagnostic thing right now. But I think like
right, we're not health professionals.
Right. This is
our
a little
experience.
disclaimer. Like, because we're getting really close to a topic. But I think yeah, I was just like journaling this today. Like, feelings can't hurt you. Like they
because they are you.
Right.
They're part of you. The human that we are.
And I think something I need to tell myself too is there's times where I know if I really dipped into this, it would move through. And today's not that day. Today is the day that I'm going to scroll. And I'm going to do that next time. You know, but having awareness of what you're doing and how you're taking care of yourself, it changes it so that you are ready to trust yourself. Like, so much of self-love is just like, do you trust you to catch you when you fall? Because you're going to fall. It's going to be hard. But if you believe that you know how to ask questions, or you know how to know who a good person is to talk to, or those kind of things, that changes the whole experience.
Yeah. I actually taught a class on conscious awareness, and there is no transformation without conscious awareness. So you really have to get to that point of being aware that you're aware.
Right. Which is that's a huge step. Yeah.
Because you can't move through a transformation. You may move through it, but if you don't have the understanding or awareness of it,
you're going to move
you're
through
just
it again.
going to go through it again. And I honestly believe that's what karma is. I don't believe karma is a thing, something that you pay for, and you know, this is just my experience, but it is reliving your own traumas or your own made up transformations without knowing it's a transformation.
Yeah, so. I think I used to be kind of hard on myself when I was repeating a pattern.
I did too. I would too. I could see the pattern.
And for a while,
like, why am I doing this again?
I could see the pattern, but I couldn't see my role in it.
Yes. Yes.
And then even if I could see my role in it, I was shaming myself the whole time. So I was like, oh, you did it again. You fucked it up. And like, I try to have grace for myself in that, but I'm finding grace for other people. Like, when I'm watching it happening, I'm much more not like I'm not wanting to save people because I can't. And I know that you figure that awareness out sooner when you're not yelling at yourself in your head. And so often the voices in our head are the people around us that we think we know what they're going to say. Of like I did this again. You think that there's rules around what you're doing. And maybe you need to have 4 rounds of that battle with different people. Like, and I know that now. Like, where I've had many rounds of certain battles, and I needed every single one of them to be where I am right now, and to actually be like, okay, and that's all done now. Or it's not, and when it comes back, I can kind of greet it like a old friend. Like,
and
no, thank you.
And exactly. It's your reaction that changes.
Yeah.
Because that will always come up, because different experiences will always bring up a trigger. Right. You know, I mean, you could be walking down the street and somebody looks at you wrong. Right. And it just depending on where you are, it could trigger something within you, but it's how you react to it.
Right. Yeah.
So, that's the transformation.
Yes.
It's really how you're reacting.
Because if we react, if we react differently, we're different. We're the whole scenario is different.
Yes.
When we've got not our feelings in check, but when we just accept them. Yes. Like they're here. And things can make us really mad or really sad. It's okay to react, but just know that you are. And that you're the only one that can change that.
I'm to the point now where I react to something and I'm like, look at me go. And sometimes I'll laugh about it.
Yeah.
You know, but I see it, but I still react, of course.
Right, because we're humans.
We're human and we get to be human.
Yeah.
But we're also 100% divine.
Right.
But if we don't know that we're both, we don't know that we are 100% divine. And that, by divine, I mean that divine love. Every single human is also part of the divine love. And you can call it what you want. The universe, God, Jesus, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. But for me, I know that if I am there and I know embody, I know it's not a feeling. It is, I am that love. Mm-hmm. And I get to share that and help others remember that too.
Right.
Because it's just a remembering.
And I think that brings, dreams are necessary to life. Like, dreams are necessary to remembering.
To remember.
Your love and, what you can share.
That's right.
I'm glad we recorded this because I want that quote. Good job.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. We should start wrapping this up. As you all can hear, this is what we do in the woods. We're just walking through like, hey, how is you doing?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I
am so grateful. And I learned so much about you today.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for this micro course. I want to do it.
Awesome.
One day.
I will let you know.
We're going to manifest it.
Yeah. Maybe we can have something going on later. Yeah.
I know.
Hopefully I'll have that done before the holidays. And
that's awesome. And then it's going to have to be in person, right? Or
No, it's all online.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would love to have I would love to have an in-person aspect of it as well, because I've done it in person.
Right.
But this is just a short micro course kind of intro to moving past perfectionism, moving past the stuckness. But that's kind of what this particular micro course is about. And whole other opportunities will come open to that as well. Yeah, even live groups, things like that.
And I think there are people just starting things here. A lot of people. Mostly because something's ending.
Right.
So we all have to start something right now. But it's being in that energy of people creating and starting is just it's a fun energy to be around.
And I love that, because this could be a whole nother podcast actually about
we'll have to have you back.
The endings and the beginnings.
Yes.
And there's something there.
Is there a way that you want people to find you? Do you have a website or an Instagram or anything?
I do have an Instagram. People can find me on Instagram, and my Instagram is Christina, CHRISTINA _CICCI, that's all C's in the word cat, _ArtLife.
Perfect. And I will put it in the blurb as well. But this was so great.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. It's really good. Thank you. And I love what you're doing and support you in any way possible. And
I'm so glad that you've been on campus for the happy thought time of Omega for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys.
Bye.
We did it.
It's wonderful.
Thanks for listening. Happy Thoughts are available on my website, thehappythoughtproject.com, and Amazon, and Fair for Wholesale. And we're on the Instagram, Happy Thoughts by Kristen. If you want to follow or leave a review on the podcast, you'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you, YouTube viewers, for being here.